Let's take a look at the 6'4", 19-year-old guard out of the G League Ignite, Jaden Hardy. 31% three-point shooter this past season, 36% on catch and shoot threes, as you see him able to catch and knock this one down. 55 attempts. Now, as we all know, as it's been highlighted, it wasn't always good with Jaden Hardy. The numbers were very inefficient, especially early in the season. One thing I like about his shooting, and I'm very intrigued by, is the level of difficulty and the variety of shots he was taking and at times making. So there, a little jab step and rise up, able to knock it down. Here, able to back out, off the bounce, get the feet set quick, and again, able to make the shot over the contest. And then this is probably my favorite, using the ball screen, able to go right into a right-left 1-2, rise up, knock that one down from distance. And when he's on, it looks really, really good, and it's really easy to buy into the scoring and the shooting package. The problem was that it wasn't always there. You see him miss this one short in a similar situation. And then the mid-range was kind of the same thing, 36% in the mid-range on 69 attempts. Love this rep here as he jab steps off the dribble here to get a little separation from his defender and then able to rise up, and it just looks smooth. And here he's going to go to some dribble move package, reverse between the legs, crossover, able to, that's a tough shot off the bounce right there into the 1-2 pull-up. The problem was that, again, efficiency with Jaden Hardy as he goes to the step back there, just not able to knock it down. But I do like the wide range of shots that he was able to take and, again, at times make. Let's look at the scoring package in terms of getting to the rim. So love this one, pushes through a little contact, plays through the bigger defender at the rim, and able to finish with an and one. He was, again, efficiency, only 41% around the rim on 169 attempts. He was a little bit better as a pick and roll handler, which almost a quarter of his attempts and usage came from those type of play types. So here he's going to get downhill, and we see the little scoop extended finish with his right hand over the defender, and then in transition, able to go to the reverse. Definitely more of a finesse finisher at the rim than a vertical pop kind of guy, and I'll showcase that later. This one is very intriguing to me because the handle, which I think at times is tight, but I do think he has to be tighter with it and has to improve, but able to split the defenders and then attacks two at the rim and able to finish through that. I think the level of difficulty on that shot, again, really shows what Jaden Hardy is capable of doing. But he only made 41% around the rim. So there was obviously some negatives as well. So you see him attack here. The longer defender gives him a little bit of trouble at only 6'4", not really able to extend. And again, he's not a high riser. He's not a huge vertical pop guy, as you see him miss that one in transition. I'm not saying he's going to miss a lot of wide open layups like that. I just wanted to use that clip to highlight he's not Jalen Green in terms of vertical pop at the rim. I also think he's a predetermining his decisions. I actually think he drives to pass here, and so when he gets in here, he doesn't take advantage of the opportunity he created for himself. He ends up traveling, and I do think at times he could do a little bit better playing through contact, staying on his line, getting down here. Right here, I think he could play through a little more contact with a little more strength and go ahead and finish that one. So I think predetermining I'm going to go score or predetermining I'm going to pass is something you'll have to get better at. And then I showed him splitting that ball screen earlier. As the G League season went on, teams started to play him for that, and they started to force him into some turnovers and get hands on that dribble. So it's something he's going to have to work through there as well. And then the floater, so like kind of that in-between game. I showed the mid-range, the three-point around the rim. Little inconsistent as well, as you can imagine with everything else. Misses that one here against the Crews later in the season. Shows a nice rep off 1 foot, able to put the little teardrop in. I wanted to show this just a little bit from Jaden Hardy as he did get better. So even at the rim or around the rim, 41% compared to 36%. This is the final 10 games of the season. This is the first 10 games of the season. And then he even got better in the mid-range. The first 10 games, he was 10 of 33, 30%. And in the final 10 games, he was 14 of 29, 48%. So it did get better. The efficiency did go up as the season went on with the G League Ignite. Now, his passing did leave something to be desired. He's going to have to get better at making, I don't want to say high-level reads, but at least more than just read the help defender and make the nice easy pass. Here off a ball screen, this goes back to I think he predetermines I'm going to go score in this situation. The low man has tagged the roller here. His teammate is wide open in the corner. I don't know if he can make this pass right now, but as he changes direction right here, again, where the handle needs to get a little tighter, for me, he should be able to pick this ball up, and this should be a pass to his teammate in the corner, and he continues just to attack and attack and attack. And I think he had made up his mind he was going to go score on that possession. Here again in ball screen, over a quarter of his play types were ball screen, so he's going to have to be able to play in these and not just to score. Makes the wrong read. He should be throwing this pass to the weak side and creating a 2-on-1. And at times, the accuracy of his passes could use some work as well. I showed this one if you watch the Dyson Daniels breakdown. A lot of people will throw this pass to the corner when the defensive have got really good taking it away and playing to that hammer pass. He should throw this pass to the wing to teammate Dyson Daniels. As you see, he doesn't make the correct read on that one. And then again, in a ball screen, the tag man has tagged the roll. He should throw this to the weak side wing. He misreads it, puts his big man in some tough spots. He did that a few times to Michael Foster Jr. Now again, he is going to put pressure on your defense. The handle's tight enough. The change of pace, change of direction is good enough. He's going to get into the lane. So here he makes the drive, able to kick out to a shooter in the corner, gets himself an assist, 3.6 assists per game to go along with 3.3 turnovers. So essentially 1-to-1 right there. Again, able to get into the lane, find an open teammate in the corner so he can put pressure on your defense. I'm not saying these are high-level reads, but I do want to show that he can see these type of passes and put pressure on the defense because of his ability to play in ball screens, handle the ball. And again, I kind of love his change of pace and suddenness in that way. I thought this was a good read by him, but I alluded to earlier, at times the accuracy of his passing, a little finesse with his passing. That's the entire offensive package for Jaden Hardy. Now let's look to the other end of the floor on defense, where the best thing I can say, the best way I can put it is he's simply going to have to be better. Maybe he is, maybe he will, maybe people aren't as concerned, but all I can go off is what the film showed. Starting on ball, he did not do a great job getting through ball screens. He would get hung up on the screen like he does there quite often. And then also a few reps where I think he started to cheat to try to help him get over the screen earlier, and then gave up the opportunity for the offensive player to refuse and get downhill. There were a couple good reps, so here I think he does a pretty decent job. This is probably his best rep getting over the ball screen. I wish he would have taken a little bit better angle to get back in front, but what I like about this one is he continues to play and work and give multiple efforts, making it tough on the offense to actually convert and score. There just wasn't enough of that, and I'll show in a little bit what exactly I mean. Here, another one where he gets hung up on the ball screen, runs into it, but gives another effort to at least make it a tougher shot on the offensive player, even though he makes it. Part of the problem is, and I'll talk about his off ball in a second, which is probably more concerning, is because of that, it puts him in tough situations on the ball. So he's too far off here, has a long closeout, and then just doesn't execute it and gets completely blown by. And those are the ones that concern me the most. Not the ones I showed earlier where he continues to play, but where he gives up complete blow-bys. Again, here off ball, has his back completely turned to his man. He should not have to be in that situation where he had to turn and make a long closeout. But again, you see a bad closeout that gives up an open drive and puts pressure on his defense, on his bigs to make a play behind him. And it wasn't just closeouts, it was also in isolation. So here, just a rip over the top, gets completely blown by after one dribble. Now, what I'd like to see is continue to play, and at least if the defender rides the offensive player's hip, I give a little bit more in those situations. But there were too many where he just kind of gives up and it ends up a complete blow-by. And even though all of these aren't ending up in buckets, at the NBA level, this is going to put a lot of pressure on your defense. Same thing here, complete blow-by, never gets back in front. And then even on this one, as he sees his big commit to contesting the shot, I'd like to see him peel off to his bigs man, maybe deflect the pass or be able to get a hand as the big guy brought it down. There was two different opportunities there. Deflect the pass or swipe down at the ball when the big brought it down before he elevated to dunk. So just those multiple efforts have to be better from Jaden Hardy. And then this didn't happen a lot, but I can't help but wonder at 6'4", will teams hunt him and take him to the post and try to take advantage of him that way? Off the ball may be more concerning, to be quite honest, just his awareness and IQ. So here he gets sucked into the lane way too deep, and then he's able to get screened off and gives up a wide open three on the weak side. There are a lot of open threes that I felt like could be contributed directly to Jaden Hardy off ball. Again here, completely loses his man on the weak side. So just an awareness thing. When should I help? When should I not help? I think he ends up in the lane way too deep, way too often. He bounces around, his head's on a swivel, so he looks engaged and focused, but it's not always productive. It's activity without production a lot of times. And then now he loses his man on a back door. And remember this, number 15 is his man as he loses him completely. This isn't his guy, so he steps at him, and his man actually is going to end up cutting all the way back through and gets a pretty clean look. So even though these aren't being converted on these clips, you can see where it could be problematic at the next level. And maybe it'll be better. Maybe it was because he was playing in the G League. But again, I can only go off the film that I saw. And then here again, he's helping on somebody that's not his. His rotation is right over here, has completely lost sight of any of it, and gives up a wide open look because of that. So I just think the off-ball awareness has to get better. He did average 3.6 defensive rebounds a game, so that's not bad for somebody at 6'4", but I can't help but wonder how many rotations will he miss, or does his man sneak in behind him like here, and how many offensive rebounding opportunities may he end up giving up. Now, he did tag the roll guy a few times, so there were some good positive reps. Here, he's late as he stayed hug up. And then this is where you see. So now because he's late, he's running in. The offensive player makes the right read on him. And now he's got to change direction just because he was out of position and late with his awareness on seeing where he was supposed to be. Here you see him tag the roll guy. He actually goes for the steal and gives up a bucket. But on that one, he at least recognized it and rotated over. I just do have some major questions about him on the defensive end.